Hey, what's up, everybody? Still Big Virg 273, 70.2, 70.3. Yeah, I'm still big everywhere, belly included. That's my biggest one. But, all right, what I'm here to talk about in this video is what I learned in triathlon in 2016. Well, 2016 was my second year in triathlon, but really my first official year because the two or three triathlons that I had scheduled in 2015, the swim got canceled on one, then the swim and the bike got canceled on another one, then the last one, the swim got canceled. So I never swam in open water until this year, which my first one was Clay's Park, and water was about 6 feet deep. So if I got in trouble, I was able to stand up for most of the way. In a couple spots, I wasn't. But it was a short 500-yard sprint triathlon, and I made it through. As you can see, I'm still here. So, what I wanted to really go into is some of the challenges that I had during the year and some of the things that I learned. Number one, before you do triathlon with open water swimming, I recommend at least, let's say 6 to 8 times of actually swimming in open water practicing. I learned a lot through drills and a coaching plan that I had about swimming, and I got really good at swimming in the pool. But in open water, it's a complete different thing. Uh, I can swim 25, 2,800 yards non-stop in the pool, but when I got in the open water, I don't know if it was nerves or it's just different, but I can barely swim 50 yards without stopping, without getting tired. It's a completely different thing. So you need to have time in the actual lake or inland lake, wherever you are, lake, ocean, whatever. But you have to be in an open body of water, not just an indoor pool. That was one of the things that I learned early on, and then maybe like two tries later, I got into a swim, and as I was in one of the later waves, and as the day progressed, the waves got higher and higher. So I got about a good 300-400 yards out towards the middle of the lake, and the waves start rolling in, and I started to panic, and I couldn't finish the swim part of the race. So, number one, practice in open water. And my cheat sheet. Number two, when you're training in the pool, focus on drills, technique, or get a swim coach. They have a lot of what they call master swimming classes. I recommend one of those, and just practice the techniques of practice bilateral breathing, and uh, fingertip drills worked really good for me. That and catch position, and just making sure that I keep one hand in front of me at all times. And let me see what else. Wetsuit. Have a good wetsuit fit. What happened with me is my wetsuit was fine, but as I started to race, the wetsuit got really tight and constrictive on me, and that was part of the problem with not having enough time to practice in open water. I wasn't used to it. You know, sometimes the wetsuits, they can kind of cinch up on you for whatever reason on race day. So you want to definitely get some time practicing in the wetsuit. Make sure that you get one and make sure it fits properly before you start the race. Okay, as far as the biking goes, um, I learned that you need a lot of heel work prior to your event. I rode and I rode and I rode, and I put a lot of miles in, and I had a lot of time in the saddle, but I didn't practice a lot of heels, and that kind of killed me during the race. So one thing that you want to do is try to do a lot of hills, and because there'll be a lot of hills in the race, and if you're not prepared for them, or you just go and you ride on the flat 15, 20, 30 miles every time you ride, and you get in the triathlon, you're already maybe a little tired from the swim, and then you get out there and you hit the hills and it just poops you out. Oh, and make sure you get a proper bike fit. That is very important. Before I got my bike fit, my calves would cramp all the time during break workouts. As soon as I would get off the bike, my calves would start cramping immediately because I didn't have the proper pedal stroke and the proper seat height, handlebar height, stuff like that. So it's very important to get a proper bike fit. And do a lot of drills on the bike. I do a lot of single leg drills just so I don't have any dead spots in my stroke, which is basically just paddling with one leg and pedaling with the other one at a time. And as far as running, I'm not really great at running. So one of the things that I'm working on now is hip strength and, keeping my knees higher. Well, I notice when I run with my knees higher, I get a stronger stroke and I get a faster turnover of my feet rate. And also, got to have my Starbucks. One of the things that that kind of came up during events. Always prep your bag the night before a triathlon. I suggest writing everything down. That's what I do. I write down everything, double check, triple check, make sure you have everything, because once you get to an event, you don't want to be without certain stuff. So I write everything down, pack my bag the night before, double check everything, make sure that my pump is working. I always check my tire pressure at the event. But as far as everything in my bag, I'll do another video on that later. But I just make sure I write everything down and double check everything, because sometimes you'll get to an event and you'll hear people saying, hey, does anybody have an extra tube? Some events, they sell tubes and they sell CO2 inflators, but some events they don't. So just in case you're at an event and they don't, you want to have an extra tube and an extra inflator. Me, I carry 2 tubes and 2 inflators, because I was out on the race course one day and a guy, he went to inflate his tire and he blew his spare tube, and so he was left out there, and I stopped and I threw him one, and he got back on his way. I seen him at the finish line, and that was another big thing. If you guys want to comment in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. If you see another racer on the side of the road without a spare tire, without a spare tube, do you stop your race and give them a tube and then risk not having a tube yourself? That was like a thing that was kind of going through my mind during some of the races, as I seen people stuck on the side of the road without a tube, and I just thought that was kind of irresponsible for people to be out on the road without a tube, because you can't have a cell phone, and you're just out there, and a lot of times we race in places that we're not from, so we really don't know our way around, and it's early in the morning. Most triathlons start at 7 in the morning on Saturday or Sunday morning, and sometimes in some places people aren't always up that early in the morning. So let's see. That's pretty much what I learned this year in triathlon, and consistency is the key. Consistency in your training, and if you're consistent, then it'll show on race day. When I was nervous before the race, everybody in my tri club, Cleveland Tri Club, they would always tell me, Virgil, trust your training, trust your training. We know you've been training, we know you've been in the pool, and you know what? I didn't trust my training. But after I got out there and I actually relaxed and I felt comfortable out in the deep water, you know, and I did trust my training, I was fine. I mean, it was like a piece of cake. I'm out there swimming. I'm watching other people. I'm blowing past people. I'm watching people swim like, wow, their stroke is not correct. I mean, I'm not the best swimmer or the most technical swimmer, but it was just something that I saw from doing drills so much and focusing on, you know, high elbows and catch position and, you know, all of that stuff. So it was just something that I noticed. But training consistency is the key. You don't want to overtrain because injury downtime, it can ruin your whole season. Like me, I'm in Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. So our triathlon season is about 4 to 5 months, maybe. Let's see, yeah, four. It's about 4 months. So you know, we have more off-season time and time to prepare, but we have indoor triathlons. I have another one in about a week, January 7th. It's an indoor triathlon. This will be my 3rd year. I'll be there with my RWB family. And hopefully, well, you know what? Not hopefully. I know I'll kick butt in it because I've been practicing and I'm way better than I was last year. So I'm not looking to beat anyone but myself. And I'm going to stay working on my goals for 2017. And that's it. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave me any comments, any suggestions. Subscribe if you want. If you like the video, I'll be having more stuff about triathlon preparation, strength training. I'm about to start doing a lot more videos on triathlon specific training, working on the hips, the glutes, the quads, calves, triceps, lats, and you know, everything, just a lot of cardio stuff too. We'll be doing that, and that's it. See you next time.